Good morning, it's me. I'm back. And I'm landscape. I'm Stephanie Flath, Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And I'm coming to you live Wednesday morning, May 17. I cannot believe we're halfway through May already. But here I am. You can find me every week, every Wednesday morning, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. And except for next week, I will be gone next week. Good morning, Nancy. So you can find me every week on my Facebook business page, facebook.com/dazzled by stamping. And you can find me any other time on my, hi Carrie, on my website at dazzledbystamping.com. You can find projects from me and all my classes. Good morning, Jamie and Marcia. Hello, thanks for sharing already. So you can find me there all the time, anytime you need something. Okay, I'm gonna refresh my screen a second so that I can see comments even when I'm stamping. So I probably said it before anybody was on. Do you notice I'm landscape horizontal this time? I'm so excited. I was scrolling. What was I doing this? I don't know what I was looking for last night. And I came across, I'm part of a tech help. Hi, Marcia. I have two Marcias this morning. I'm part of a tech help group that obviously I don't use nearly enough because I was reading something and somebody said, did you make sure that you unlock your screen? If you did that, then I don't know whatever else. I'm like, unlock your screen. So it wasn't even a Facebook thing at all. It was actually an iPhone thing. There's a thing where you can lock your screen into portrait or landscape, or to have to be portrait, I think is the lock. Good morning, Marlene. Anyway, I'm relieved. I finally have my full screen. Okay, so I mentioned Marcia Hill already shared my video. So in case you're new to me, make sure that you share my video and then come back and tell me in the comments that you shared, because I give away what I make. So, and the way that you get entered is by sharing and letting me know that you did. I know, I'm so excited. It's been months. There's too many things, I know. And too many things that change once an updates happen that you don't even realize. Because that's probably how it happened, was after a phone update or something. I don't know. Anyway, I thought it was after a Facebook update instead of a phone update. So anyway, we're fixed. I'm happy. Okay. So I'm going to get moving. I have my randomizer filled with names from last week's sharers. I have two projects, but I don't, oh yeah, I do remember what they are. I used timeless arrangements, at least for one of them. Did I use it for both? I did. I used it for both. Thank you for sharing already, Marlene and Penny. I'm starting my randomizer. Now I need to find my Post-it notes and a pen. Janet Bignall, yay, congratulations. Where's my pen? All right, Janet is my friend. Was she a winner last week too? If she was, I didn't give her a card. One of my goals before vacation is to get stuff out in the mail that I owe everybody. We'll see if that happens. I am not the most prompt person when it comes to that, but you will get it. Okay. Pick another name and start. Marcia Hill, yay. Congrats, Marcia. I think I might owe you another one too. I don't remember. They're on a pile. They're in a pile over there with everybody's names on them. Okay, so just a quick reminder before we get started. before I get started. You're welcome. I will not be live next week. I will be gone next week. So keep that in mind. I'll have to get you back, in the habit of looking for me the following Wednesday. Good morning, Terry. So anyway, I will not be live next week. I love that you congratulate each other. That makes me happy. All right, I need a quick swig and then we're off. Okay. So I'm actually for one of my cards, I'm going to use, well, I'm actually using it on both, but just in a different way. So I am using Timeless Arrangements again. It's actually for my second card, but I'm going to use the dies on my first card. So, I love this stamp set. I love all the tiny little words here, and there's little dies that go with it. I have a bunch of swaps with using it now. I mean, I've probably had them for a while, but I finally took some pictures, so I sort of have a mental note of what I have. So I will be sharing them, well, eventually. I haven't decided yet what's being shared when, but probably at least a couple in the next week and a half or 2 weeks. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to use, though, I had shared a card that I made on my weekend with Nadine and Rachel, using, well, a couple of them actually, using a stamp set by my side. So this is not a new stamp set. It was in last year's catalog, and I got it during last year's catalog, but I never used it. But I needed to do something on my card to fit my words better. And so I'm going to show you this trick that I can do. It's not anything like mind-boggling exactly, but if you don't know, you don't know. So anyway, I'm going to show you that. So I'm going to make a similar version of this card, but just a little bit different or simpler. So I am going to put you down. So I'm going to have to do my magic. So I need to unbackwards you and upside down you. And then I'm going to put you down. And I feel like that's enough. Thank you for sharing, Jamie. Is that my last comment? Yeah, okay. I feel like you can see everything okay. I was working with this last night, trying to figure out the right angle for everything so that I didn't have to adjust it once I put it down. So hopefully this is good. Okay, so here are my pieces that I'm gonna, no, not that. That's the rest of it that I'm gonna use for this. So I just have a thick white card base, and then this designer paper, it was just something that I had out. It's the daisy paper, but I'm using the brushed art side. So where did oh, here it is. Okay, so I'm just gonna sort of make my base a second. It's a really standard card. I'm probably gonna be silent at some point because I am gonna be coloring. I don't always multitask well when I'm live. when I'm coloring especially. This is part of the, did I show you all the colors of the glorious gingham paper? Can somebody tell me that? I feel like I didn't. If I didn't, maybe I should. Yeah, I did last week because I used some of it. Okay, so this is probably Azure Afternoon or whatever that's called, and this is Blueberry Bushel. So I just wanted some blues on here because I'm going to work with this cute little boy, and I liked him in blue and khaki, so that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to, where's my other ink pen? Oh, there it is. So I need to ink him up in This is Memento because I love gingham too. Pretty much anytime there's gingham, I buy it. I'm inking him up in Memento because I'm going to be coloring with my Stampin' Blends, which are alcohol-based markers, in case you are unfamiliar with our things. Okay, I'm going to let this dry a little bit. You're not supposed to color this right away. You need to let it dry for a little bit, so otherwise it will still bleed. So I'm letting that go. So I'm going to show you what I want to show you with my dies on this piece. So now, if you read and maybe remember, I ended up doing this after making the card at Rachel's because I messed up I still didn't do a great job. I messed up my words and I made my my words way too, what did I say? I splatted them. So I needed to, I had stamped them here. That's a perfect spot to fit this. And then I messed it up. So I decided I needed to stamp something and put it over. So I'm going to use, where did it go now? I put it on there. Just a second. Okay, so I'm going to use this die, which is part of all of these dies. Aren't these amazing? So lots of people use these just for like underneath their words and back. They use lots of them. But there are 3 dies in here that are stitched rectangles that are all by themselves. So here's one, here's a skinnier one, and here's this more medium one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run this through. I'm going to position on here first to show you. I'm going to run this through like this. So I'm going to make it have a straight edge, just because originally it was out of necessity on my card. It needed to fit like that. Probably on this card I might have a little bit more room, but I'm not really sure. But anyway, so I wanted it to, I just was going to cut this off. So that's the first thing that I'm going to do. Then I'm going to show you the next thing. Okay, so I'm doing this every time because people have a problem understanding what I'm talking about. Okay, so when I'm doing my mini Stampin' Cut Emboss machine, to make this work well, you need to make a capital E, and I need to show this in a way that makes sense. Okay, so the end that is starting to go through, can we see it? The end that you're having to go through the machine, you need it to look like a capital E. So the top is long, the middle is short, and the bottom is long, okay? So that's what has to go through. Now, it does become hard. We were having a hard time last night because everything's sort of getting warped, and it still causes a problem sometimes. But the way that you can make sure that you have everything good is put your bottom one in. Can you see my white is long? This first clear is short. This is your first piece of bread is short. Then my meat and cheese. I'm going to put this down. It all needs to be, all layers need to be under this for it to cut. And then, and it's resting on here, so I don't have to pick this up again to mess it up. And then this goes on, so it's long also. And then you just have to sort of pinch it to get it to stay together. Okay, so this is going to go through. Oh, and I didn't do my own tip. I did not, if I'm going to have a straight edge coming here, so it's going to bounce kind of hard and potentially go through kind of hard. If you turn it so that a corner is going through first, it will it will help you. Last night we had this just bouncing and going across the room. There was so much tension. Okay, so I'm gonna show you here. So here's my piece. There's no stitching on here, but what I can do, this is my trick. Hi Jamie. I was late last week. I don't care how late you are, it's all right. So what I'm gonna do now that I have this cut off is I'm gonna line these stitched spots back up, and I might trim some of this off so that it gets right on the end. Let's see. No, that's not what I want. I'm gonna go one more. I think I had it just a little bit different so that it did it perfectly. Okay, so I'm gonna line this back up. I'm gonna turn it cockeyed this time so that I'm doing my own tips, because I forgot the first time. There. Okay, so now we're gonna make this go through again. Now it's funny, once you do this, you end up with two little X's on the side. Did I tell you about the X's on the edge? I didn't do it perfectly, but there it is. Just a sec. So now I have it perfectly stitched all the way around. So this die is this long, but since I ran it through twice, I can get the stitching here. Let's see, I have an X here and an X here. Kind of funny. Anyway, I got this so to be the size that I want it to be. All and stitched all the way around. Okay. I think that's all I need. All right, so I can put this on here when I'm ready. Now that that's done, and this has dried, I'm gonna do some coloring. So I have two different tones of, I'm gonna try this on here. I have two different tones of, do you remember that we have Stampin' blends in tone color, skin tones? So I have two different ones. I'm not sure which one it is that I want. I think I want the first one. We have 10 different blends that are skin tones, from this light color way to a really, really deep chocolate color. So I like that we have all that. So you can blend it to whatever skin tone that you want. Some of them are more peachy tones, and some of them, what's the other one? Peach or rose? Is that it? Is that a good description? You know what? Didn't color shoes last time, I don't think. I'm gonna make shoes this time. I feel like I just colored bare feet. No, we're just gonna make bare feet. It'll just be easier. Okay, you're welcome for the tip. Okay, now I'm going to, I'm gonna color. I'm gonna color his shorts. So I'm gonna go khaki. So I'm doing crumb cake for his shorts. And then I'm gonna do some outlining, softening the edge a little bit. While I have this, I'm gonna make some ground for them to be walking on. Nothing special. Okay, there's that. I'm going to color his shirt. This one, I feel like it's too small to go back over and over again, so I'm just going to do the dark first. I don't want to keep adding color to this. So instead of coloring the whole thing with the light, I just did the highlighting with the dark, and I'm going over it with the light. So in case you're unfamiliar with Stampin' Blends, if you're new watching me, as I mentioned, Stampin' Blends are alcohol-based markers, and Stampin' Ups always come in a combo. So when I say light and dark, that's what I'm talking about. There's light blueberry bushel and dark blueberry bushel, so that you can get the blending that you want for blended color that you want. Okay? All right. Now I'm going to do the hair, and this one was an experiment for me when I first did this. I'm using I just want to see which color it is that I want. I sort of wanted a blonde, and I'm using, what's this called? Wild wheat. I'm using light wild wheat. And so I'm coloring the whole thing, and it looks sort of weird, just like this all by itself. But then I think I did pecan pie like highlights and added some color around the edges and stuff like that. I feel like that makes it more of like a dirty blonde like that I'm looking for. But I'm not sure that was such a good, that's better. All right. I don't know, that's what we're going with. That's what, that's my interpretation. Okay, and then the dog, we need, first of all, I want a black marker. Where did I don't have it out. I don't know if all dogs' noses are black, but that's what I think of when I think of a dog's nose. So I'm going to do the nose black. And then I'm just going to do the dark highlighting again first. So this is dark pecan pie. Just going to do some outlining here. He's a cute little dog. And then this is the light. I don't know about you guys, but I don't prefer the fine tip of our blends. I like the brush tip. So it's rare that I'm using, here's the fine tip. It's just, I need to get it over white so you can see it, but I'm there we go. I have a hard time getting my depth perception, whatever. You have one with a pink. Oh, gotcha. Okay. Well, I sort of figured that or knew that. But I think of black noses when I feel like I've seen ones that like even have a heart on them or something like that. Okay, so here's my cuties. My boy and his pal. Todd had a dog named Pal when he was younger. So we're gonna put this together. And I need my black. So I cut this. I like usually a tiny little border. Sometimes I like them big, but my go-to is to have a tiny border. So just for example, when I do this, so this is 3.5 inches long, 2.5 inches wide. So I don't know if I can show you. I'll show you on here. So if I had it 3.5 inches wide, I actually do 1/8 of an inch bigger for my sizing. So I did 3 5/8 and 2 5/8. So if you have a ruler that divides it out into 16ths, like here's a half, here's a fourth, here's an eighth, here's a 16th. It's 2 tiny little lines. Otherwise, you might only have a ruler that has the eighths. So it would be 1 line. Does that make sense? So that's how I cut it, so that I get the size that I want. All right, so I'm going to put this down here. I guess I want it like that. Otherwise, I like my lines to always be intersecting. Like I didn't want my black to be right up against this line with the blueberry bushel. Okay, and then we need dimensionals. Oh, yay, I found them. All of a sudden I panicked because I'm like, I don't know if I kept track of my dimensionals. As soon as I say this, it's going to be a problem, but I'm still going to say it. I feel like I've been doing pretty good keeping track of my dimensionals lately. All right, now I'm going to, again, I need to make sure that I'm crossing all the lines. So I have this on here. So it's even crossing this one way out here with the designer paper. So there's that. And then one tiny little embellishment. With the browns in here, and so much blue, I didn't want to go with blue embellishment. So I'm just using the rustic metallic dots. There you go. There's my card. So cute. Okay. They're just so sweet. I like them. Okay, so now I'm done with all the blends, and those can get out of the way. Oh, and by the way, I realized when I was looking for this, Rachel, if you're watching at any point, thank you. I think I brought home your pale papaya Stampin' Blend, because I wouldn't have brought it with me, so I must have grabbed yours. I used it for the skin last week. Am I not staying on camera? Okay, now what I'm doing is a fun fold. This is something that, sorry, I got to get my piece of design paper. This is something that Rachel taught us when we were there. Was it last weekend? No, it was a week and a half ago already. Rachel taught us this when we were there, and she saw it from Patty Bennett. It's a 2468 fold. So if you're, first of all, you need to start with a 12 by 12 piece of designer paper, and you can get 2 cards out of it plus some pieces to like decorate or whatever. Excuse me. If your design matters, you need to make sure that you keep, well, like in my opinion, this design matters. Like this way looks like it's sideways, so I don't want to cut it that way. So I need to make my cut this way. So keep in mind you need it to be landscape with going with the design. Does that make sense? So I'm gonna get my paper trimmer, and we're gonna cut this at 5 1/4. You can't see my measurement because it's up at the top, but this is 5 1/4. And we're just going to cut that off. Now there's this whole other piece that you can make another card, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just making one card. Okay. Then I'm going to open up my my extension here. Can you see the extension? I'm going to open up my extension, and I'm literally going to just score, no cutting. Let's get the cutting blade out of the way so we don't cause problems. I'm going to score at 2, 4. Don't press too hard on designer paper. You'll cut it instead of just score it. 2, 4, 6. 8. I was pressing lightly, but I wanted to make sure that I did have a good score. All right, that is all that I need this paper trimmer for. Now what you need to keep in mind, you're only going to see one side of this designer paper. There's another design that we did that I'm actually going to use for my Dazzling Card Club. So I'll show you after that. There's another design where you do get to see both sides, but this one you're just going to see one. So we're going to, oh, I put away my bone folder and lost it. Where did it go? Oh, there it is. Okay. So we're going to accordion fold on all the score lines with the design that you want to see out. Did I do this right? I did do it right. For a second, I questioned myself. Okay, so I'm just creasing this like this. Okay, so we have this. Now what we want to do is we're going to adhere the two that are folded together. So I'm going to put adhesive on one side and press it on the other. So then we have just one flap now here. Then we're going to open this and do that with the second one. Okay, so now you just have two flaps plus this base sort of thing. Now we're going to put the base on. You can decide to do whatever it is that you want. We're going to put the designer paper on a card base. So this is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. This is the normal size of a card. And you can put it right on there. But if you feel like you need a little bit of, what's the word? Contrast. I felt like it depends on the design paper that you choose, I guess. So I cut this to be 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. So it's 1/8 of an inch off all of these pieces. So I don't know. I felt like it looked better with a little bit of white behind it. So that's what I did. But that's not how Rachel showed it. That was just my take on it. I don't know if that's how. Did I tell you Patty Bennett is the one that showed this 2, 4, 6, 8? It's probably been around before, but if it has, it's out again. So I'm putting this on here, and then I'm going to put my my designer paper down, and I'm gonna do a little bit extra. I don't want any like bubbles or whatever of it showing. So we're gonna put this here. With these tiny little borders, you gotta make sure that you get it centered well. Okay, then, so there's not so much designer paper. I'm also putting white in here. This was part of the design, at least with, you like the white also? Me too. This was part of the design, at least with Rachel. I don't know if it was, I didn't actually go back and watch anything that Patty had done. All right, so here's our card base. So you can do this obviously with any kind of designer paper, 12 by 12, I mean, but like any design, it doesn't have to be this beautiful flower or whatever. But you're also going to want to do these flaps, and I wasn't so creative with my flaps. I just sort of went with something standard. So you need 2 of each. So I am using, this is the 2 3/8 inch circle punch. This is the one that goes with the Circle Sayings bundle. But we do have a few more punches that are current again. So I'm going to stamp these. So you want to choose something that you have other words that, or two sets of words that will work together. So I'm just making this sort of simple. And even though these are daisies, I'm choosing to use not daisies, just so it will fit better, and because I couldn't stamp white and match this, and so I just totally went different. So I'm gonna make this, use this flower from the Timeless Arrangements. I'm gonna put that on both of them. I might do another. I stamped this one again, so have the stamped off part too. All right. Then for this, both of these things are from Timeless Arrangements also. This one says, I really appreciate you. And this one just says, I should test it. I didn't test it on the first one. Good thing it worked. This one just says, thank you. All right. So I'm going to put this on my, oh, I didn't tell you. Duh. Okay, so I told you this is the 2 3/8 inch circle punch. So these are stylish shapes. So this medium one fits in the center of this. So it's 1, 2, 3. The third one, then there's 3 more. 1, 2, 3. So the third one fits in the center of this. So I'm going to attach it. And detach it. And then, so this is how I'm going to put it on my card. One is going to be attached here. One is going to be attached here. But I don't want the words showing out on the front. So I want to tuck it in. So I'm doing it like this. So because it's not sticking out too far, I was going to use tear and tape. If you have one that sticks out kind of far, you're going to want to use tear and tape. But because I want this tucked in so that I don't see the words, it won't be too flimsy out there. So I have the thank you there. And then I basically want to line this up also with it. I don't want to, oh, I did the wrong side. All right, we're going to get this off. I felt like I was like doing it upside down. It's hard when you flip it over. Leave it to me. Okay, so this is a lesson in don't do what I did. I make the mistake so you don't have to, right? Okay, so I want them both like this. So here's my card, and I want to add some embellishments. So these are, I love our embellishments. They're amazing. This pack is Tinsel Gems 4-pack. Yeah, somehow I've hit adhesive on here and it didn't even do it. I had it over here on the side before I opened it. Yes, I become real, don't I, when I make mistakes. Okay, So these 4-pack of the Tinsel Gems, this is Pretty Peacock, which I don't think I told you. That's what this card base is. Duh. Pretty Peacock, Blueberry Bushel, Berry Burst, and Lemon Lime Twist. And so I'm going to use the Pretty Peacock and just put it here and there. So I actually want one on here so that, because it's flowers and it's pretty, and I want one here. I feel like I want one on over here too. And my other samples, I sort of just decorated over here, but this one I just wanted to do differently. So here's my 2, 4, 6, 8 card. So obviously you could embellish, you could put something in here too, but I didn't necessarily have something that I wanted to put in there. You can embellish and stamp this however you want, but the basic fun fold part is what I wanted to show you. And I do have more samples. I'll show you when I put you up. So I'm all done stamping, so I'm going to lift you up. So I'm going to upside down you, put you backwards again, and lift you up. Okay. All right, so here is my fun fold. Now I have to say, with the white, you kind of can't really tell that it's the peacock so much. Thank you, Patricia. But I still like the white behind it. I don't know, I just needed it. Okay, so here's this one. So I'm going to show you, I made a couple more last night, and I finished one at Rachel's. Okay, I don't have this punch, but Rachel had this punch. So this is the first one that I made. So this is the, I used all designer paper. It might be the only 12 by 12 that I have right now is the Daisy designer paper. So I have thank you, and your friendship means everything. And then, okay, so when you use, when you make 2 cards out of it, you end up with this size of strip here. So I used it to decorate the inside here too. So this is all part of one piece of designer paper. So this one, the base I used is the wild wheat. And then this one I brought home because I wanted to do it a little bit differently. So same fold, but I used Blackberry Bliss. And these are from the balloon one. What is the balloon one? Bright and Beautiful is the designer paper. It's over here, just a sec. I'll find it, just a second. Beautiful Balloons is what it's called. Okay, so it says you did it, and I used the stylish shapes again to get this. Yay, you. And then so thrilled for you. I think that's all part of the Beautiful Balloons. So then I just stamped I had daisies on here that I had stamped on this piece of designer paper. So this strip could decorate both of these. It was all part of one strip. Now some of the other sides wouldn't really work. Like, well, this one would work. But like the one that I used, where's the piece? Just a sec, I'm going to show you. So I had used this on my little kid card, by my side card, but it doesn't really go with this on the other side. So it may or may not work using the other side. Thank you. Okay, and then one last one that I did. This is my favorite piece from that designer paper. So here is, this is with, now this one I did not put white around it, so you totally can see the color of the card base. And I did that on purpose, partly because this was such a lighter a lighter designer paper, I feel like. It was just simpler. So I have hi friend and thanks. Don't you love that? I just love those. And then I didn't stamp anything inside. So these are the embellishments that come in the suite with the daisies. So quick mention about these dies. These, I forgot the name. Nested Essentials dies. So that's these. That's what I used for these tabs on this one. Thank you. I'm glad that you like them. All right. So I'm not giving all those away, just the one I made. I want the samples. Anyway, so if you go to make this card, 2468 card, show me, post in, well, you can post here, I guess, but I feel like more people can see it on, if you go to my Dazzled by Stamping community page and post there, then people like to see that there. So if you make a version of your own, post, let's see what you got. Okay, so I'm done stamping. I have not much chatting left, but I do want to tell you, registration is open for actually a few things. One is my Dazzling Card Club, which is going to use this designer paper, that stamp set. You make 2 each of 4 cards. So you get to make 8 cards, plus you get product. So you will get designer paper, you get embellishments, that sort of thing. Excuse me. It's if you got an invitation, it says June 6th, 10 a.m. But when you register, you can choose which date and time that you want to go to. So I always do on the Tuesday, 10 a.m., 2 p.m., and 7 p.m. And then on the Friday, I just do 10 a.m. So you can choose your date and time. And you can choose or you can choose just to come and pick it up and take it home and work on it yourself. Or you can choose an online version where I mail everything to you. So that is open as my Dazzling Card Club with the Cheerful Daisies. My All Occasions card class is, it's the Tuesday right after Memorial Day. So you need to tell me by Memorial Day whether or not you can come. Make 2 each of 3 cards with that one. And then also registration is open for our retreat, our one-day crafting retreat in summer. July 29 is the date. Registration will close by June 29. Did I say the retreat's on July 29 or June? The retreat's on July 29. It closes on June 29. But we have almost 3/4 of the spots gone. So, and it just opened Monday. So make sure if you're wanting to come that you sign up right away. So the crafting retreat, we include product with that for making a couple projects that we provide, and you get I started it calling them pillow gifts throughout the day, because that it's an affectionately known term from Stampin' Up! For incentive trips, which is this week. Everybody's heading to Norway, but we chose to go to Maine instead. Instead of I did earn Norway, but we missed out on Maine, and so we're going to Maine this year. I'm so excited. So pillow gifts are something that you get on an incentive trip, and this time they actually mail them all to us ahead of time. It helps so people don't have to worry about packing, a room for packing everything that needs to go home, and that sort of thing. Anyway, so at the retreat, you get pillow gifts, lunch and supper. You get to use our punches and dies and stuff like that. But you bring whatever it is that you want to work on. It's all day long or however long you want to be there. You can bring stamping. Thank you. Yeah, that would be great. Go to our retreat. You can bring stamping, scrapbooking, painting, but you need to be really careful. I don't want to be having to clean up paintings type stuff. I know people have done like diamond, is that diamond art? Is that what it's called? One time, one of my team members, she needed to cut her coupons. So she brought coupons to cut for a while. Or was that at a crafting night? I don't know. Anyway, you bring whatever it is that you want to work on. Some people brought their sewing machine. So you can join us whatever craft it is that you want to do. So sign up soon so that you don't miss out, because once it's full, it's closed. So that's all that I have for you. Thank you. I'm excited too, Jamie. I can't think of anything else. So if you have questions, you can try texting me. But whether or not I can get back to you, or help you or whatever, that's questionable. So, I will have posts while I'm gone, but, anyway, so I'm gone for a while. So thank you for joining me today. Let me know today if you have any questions, while I for sure can help you. And I will see you in 2 weeks. I don't know what I'll show then. Thank you. I will have a wonderful time. I'm really, I can't wait to show you my swap that I'm doing, but I need to wait for that. I need to get the swap out before I leave. You're welcome. Thank you for joining me on my fun class. Okay, have a great day. Have a great 2 weeks. A great Memorial Day. So I won't see you till after Memorial Day. Be safe and enjoy the sunshine. I'll see you later. Thanks. Bye.